I'm honestly scared of losing it in the T-top.
Nah, it's clear. It's not even above it.
All right, what's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I'm driving a 1999 Chevy Camaro Z28. Up front is a 5.7-liter V8, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the U.S. Let's get back to that 5.7-liter. This thing screams at around 4,000 to 5,000 RPM. The red line is about 5,500, and so this is one of those older sort of dies at the top end V8s, but you gotta love that low end power, and I mean low end power. Now this car does have an aftermarket camshaft as well as an LS6 intake, so it's not completely stock. As you'll hear, it doesn't sound stock, but man, is it fun. All right, 5.7 liter. Oh. My lady! Oh my God. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. I was surprised to find a 6-speed, but it's really nice and smooth. The clutch is ridiculously heavy. This is the heaviest clutch I've ever felt. It is an aftermarket clutch, so that can't be said about all Camaros, but the car has so much torque that it doesn't even matter how heavy the clutch is. As soon as you start letting it out, you don't even have to give it much gas. The car just starts going and going, which is absolutely awesome. So let's talk about the interior. This is where it's very much a product of GM from the 90s. And in front of me, I have a bunch of analog gauges. I have my coolant temperature, oil pressure, tachometer, speedometer, battery voltage, and fuel. Very simple gauges. You'll find very similar gauges in the Corvette of the same era, but it is what it is. The steering wheel only has horn buttons, no cruise control, no nothing on the steering wheel, which I kind of like. I like the decluttered steering wheel a lot. To the left, I do have my headlight switches, and then my window switches, of course, on the door, as well as power mirrors, lock and unlock. In the center, I do have 2 vents, and then it does say Camaro on the dash, which I sort of like. It keeps reminding you that you're not in a Firebird or a Corvette, you're in the Camaro. And then I do have my fog light switches and a traction control button. Then I have a radio. It looks nearly identical to the radio that comes in the Corvette. This is a very standard Chevy radio. And then I have the most basic climate controls of almost any modern car. It is what it is. At least you have heating and air conditioning, which, because of the cam, because of the built motor and everything, the air conditioning spools up so quickly. The second you get in, it is cold. And this is a 90s car. It still blows ice cold, which you can't say about most other cars. Then we do have a cigarette lighter / 12-volt charger and a little cubby hole. And then we come down to the shifter. Like I said, the shifter is really notchy. I really do like it. It is really tall though. Now we gotta talk about the seats. The seats are tan, but I really like them. They're really comfortable. GM of the 90s knows a couple of things, and one of them is comfort. I really do like these seats, and we do have back seats, so we will do a back seat review. All right, so I don't really have anywhere to put the camera here in the Camaro. I could have used the T-tops, but the T-tops are out, and it's very muggy today. These seats are actually really comfortable. They are bucket seats, and as you can tell, they dish in. Headroom is fine. Knee room is a little compromised because of the front seats. But other than that, I have to say this is probably the best Camaro to ride in the back in. I have plenty of headroom. I'm not being smashed. I'm not like the typical, you know, like it's actually decently comfortable. If the passenger's nice and gives you a little bit of extra room, there goes my phone, because my RX-7 should be shipping here soon. It's not bad to ride back here. And look, you get this really cool view with the T-tops and all that stuff. It's actually really nice back here. Now we got to talk about the looks. When I first saw this car, first of all, I first saw this car back in Test Drive 5. I don't know if you guys remember that video game. I think the car actually looks really good, and I think it's because of this color. I'm not a big fan of red Camaros. I'm not a big fan of black Camaros. I think they all sort of look tacky, but this sort of embraces that 90s color, that 90s sort of vibe, and I actually really, really like it. And I think another thing that helps out is that this does have T-tops. I wish T-tops with all my heart would come back. I know it's not a safety thing because they have modern convertibles, so why can't we have modern T-tops? If anything, they're safer. You get an extra bar of support. But I think this color really, really sells this car. If it weren't for this color, I don't think I'd like this car as much. I mean, obviously the powertrain's amazing. I'd still like that. But just the look of it, I think this is just such a time capsule. And Nick has done a really, really good job of keeping it clean and preserving it instead of slamming it to the ground and throwing big old slicks on the back and taking it to the dragway and messing up every once in a while. So overall, I have to say, for being the catfish generation of Camaro, whatever you want to call it, this thing is awesome. This thing is a lot of fun. I've been driving a lot of muscle cars recently, and I have to say that this definitely lives up to it. And actually, it doesn't live up to muscle cars in one surprising way, is that this car actually has pretty good visibility. Most muscle cars are absolute trash. It's like driving a cave. But this, I guess with the T-tops, this is not like driving a cave. This is like driving a spaceship with a lot of power. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Nick for letting me take out his Camaro. This thing is absolutely awesome. If you guys ever have a chance to check one of these out, I would highly, highly recommend it. But don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.